Okay, so I've got a few of my things done here. My little bridge, my little footbridge came out pretty cool. I think I'm gonna add maybe like a little railing or something like that. My bench I'm still working on. I got a couple, I had to put a little armrest on it. But the thing I wanna move on to now is my door, all right? So here's my door. I've got my pieces cut out. This is the shape that I'm gonna use, which I'm happy with, but I'm trying to figure out what color to paint it. Now I don't wanna paint it just a brown or a wood tone or something like that. So I've got a couple other colors that I might mix in, and then I've also got a cup of just water. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of create a stain using different colors. Now, before I actually put it onto the door there, I want to try and test it out just so I can kind of see what it's going to look like. So I've got some pieces of some other tongue depressors and wood sticks that I'm going to go ahead and give it a try. Now, to create a stain, very simply, just add a lot of water and just a little bit of paint, okay? And that will help kind of create just a really almost like watercolor quality to it, okay? And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a little bit here, okay? And I'm gonna let that soak in. And then I've got a little bit of paper towel, just some scraps, doesn't really matter. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wipe that clean. Okay, and so that gives me an idea of how that would look. Now, if I want it to be a little bit more red, maybe I add a little bit more red paint to my water just by dipping that in, and maybe that'll make it a little bit darker. Okay, so then I'm gonna go right next to it. And again, it's really watery still, okay, and I can even probably add just a little bit of straight paint to my watery solution and see how that goes, see if that changes it at all. And a lot of it's just gonna be experimenting, trial and error. Okay, so it's a little bit darker, okay? And maybe I try putting on a second coat and see if that changes anything. I don't know that it will. I guess it did make it a little bit darker. Okay, you can kind of see it, not much. It's not that much darker, so maybe that's not the trick. If I go ahead and clean my brush, maybe I add a little bit more, maybe add a little bit of light brown or a little brown to my mixture here and see what that does. And again, trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. Just try a little something, see how it works. Still want to have it a little bit more red, so I'm just going to go ahead and actually mix some red in there. And that's giving it kind of like a brick red or something like that. Let's see how that'll look. The key here is don't do it directly on whatever you're trying to do. Make sure you figure out what color you want first. That's not too bad. I got a little bit of red in there, but I've also got the brown in there as well. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're gonna go with some purple or something like that. Let's try purple. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that red brush aside, put that in the water so it doesn't harden up in there. But let's see what purple does. Purple's a little bit darker color. And this is just some watery purple. See how it goes. Just doing that little end there. Take my little crumpled up piece of paper there. Now this little spot here, this is most likely where there was some glue, so that's why I'm not getting anything sticking in. I'm going to show you a little technique that I might use on that area. And that's the end of class.